Hey buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we are checking out a Domics video. Says he got scammed. Now this is the second creator that we're seeing that we are seeing here on the channel. I'm talking about a time that they got scammed. I theorized that this could be like since it's Domics, it could legit be an actual time he was scammed, not like if this was another animated creator, then I'd probably be like, oh well, this could be just the title and the video is not actually about an actual scam happening. But but since it is Domics, hold on, let me fix my hat. All right, better. Hold on. Spruce the wig. Oh goodness, the hair was like under. Okay, should be straight out. All right. Since it's Domics, I think he legitimately probably got scammed in some way. So we're going to see what happened. Link for this video is in the description box below for you to check out. Now let's get started. Almost close.
Back when I was in college, I joined a pyramid scheme, which is a business structure revolving around the investment.
I have been involved in a couple
participants whose commissions
are
often partially credited.
You saw that glitching?
Recruiters. There are many variants of the pyramid scheme. But the typical outcome of its design is that those in the bottom levels generally do not find profit. Me. That's me right there. They are illegal in many places, and so they will never admit to you that they are a pyramid scheme.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they were illegal in places.
Business mechanics to get around the semantics of what defines a pyramid scheme, but they are a pyramid scheme nonetheless.
Right.
I think it was a friend who one day invited me to join him for a job listing.
That's how it is.
I don't remember how he found out about it, but despite not having much luck in the part-time job hunts during that time, I wasn't really too interested at first. I didn't understand what the listing was for, but he mentioned that it didn't require prior experience or education. And here I was thinking, well, I have an education. Maybe they'll see that as an advantage and hire me. God, so stupid. Keep in mind, I was naive to this
look at the little baby.
Didn't understand the concept of pyramid schemes yet. I didn't get to watch this kind of video to warn you all about them. So we drive to this sketchy neighborhood I'm unfamiliar with and arrive at this unwelcoming building.
Okay.
And after knocking on what could have been both a front or back door, we were greeted by two people, which I assumed to be the employers.
Why they look so evil?
Recruiters was the more appropriate title. They quickly introduced themselves, and we were then led into a room with maybe 3 or 4 other people. The room had a panel arrangement with a projector.
Oh, so it wasn't like a
PowerPoint
house.
Presentation.
It was an actual convention.
At the side was a snacks table, so you bet I partook in some of that free shit.
Okay.
Hey, whether or not I get hired tonight, I'm at least getting something out of it.
Look at his little tummy behind walking out with all these snacks. But yeah, it's I've been to and I'll talk through like the list of the meetings that I've went through that were similar to this, and some I've signed up for and some I have not. But I thought when he was going in, because sometimes these happen at home. So when he said it was in a sketchy neighborhood, I thought it was at a home. But it looks like it's actually at I was saying convention center, but not convention center. What's it called where because even hotels have it where it's just a room that you can have a meeting, like if you were having a business trip, and you needed what is the name? The name is in my head, and it's conference room. Bam, figured it out. Thanks for everyone who put in the comment section. Help me.
Unless I get murdered.
Yikes.
They started the presentation soon enough and began talking about their product, which was this premium organic instant coffee.
All right.
And we were going to be
I didn't hear about this
for
one.
selling it, which I thought should have been a relatively simple task, right? Many people open up their mornings with coffee to be able to survive
It's tough to do.
day, or even start their evenings with one to prepare themselves for the long night of a deadline rush. It's the kind of product people could want at any time of the day. The presentation was relatively short and simple. They first talked about the benefits of being involved in this business, such as the ability to earn full-time income for part-time work. And
Okay. I gotta turn this up in my headphones, but it's these are the tropes. They normally it's so hilarious. They do start, or at the beginning, a lot of them start with the revenue you can make, because they figured in their layout, right, of trying to recruit people, they want you to be like, when you ask that question, what's in it for me? They want to answer that question at the beginning to keep people staying there to hear what it is you have to do. But they start with, oh, you can make a full-time income. Then they show you success stories, which I'm going to see if that's how the order he's going to go into. They tell you about the income that you can make. Then they tell you about success stories. And sometimes they'll pinpoint 2 or 3 people that are success stories, and I'll put quotes on that, and go into a little bit of history of them, how their life was crap before, and then they did this, and now they got a boat, like, or they can go on trips. It's like all this stuff, right? That's the next step. And then after, like, they'll go into what it is you have to do, right? And then how you do it. So let's see.
How they reward BMWs to recruits who work hard and reach a certain quota of their own recruitment. I don't know what it is about these pyramid schemes, but for some reason they always offer a nice car that you realistically will not be able to earn. They also mention a lot of company vacations and benefits that you'll be able to indulge in, all for selling some coffee. And it all depends on how hard you want to work. And that's how they get you. They reel you in with an opportunity that seemingly anyone can be competent in, shower you with the potential for extravagant rewards, and challenge your pride of whether or not you have what it takes to make it big. Sure, there's some truth in that, but it's a real cop-out for the responsibility for you, their recruitments. They've got nothing to lose. If you make it big, well, hey, I guess they were right. I told you could do it. It's just like we said. I don't know why it's a southern accent. We're in Canada. But if you fail miserably, they leave you with the verdict that you've only got yourself to blame because you probably didn't work hard enough. Being a college student, contemplating about his continued passion for architecture school, I was a perfect target for them. I was looking for ways out of my program, looking for other options, and they caught me slipping. They continue on with some bullshit health benefits of the coffee and how much more superior it is compared to your everyday Tim Hortons. As if this was supposed to give you eternal youth or something. Now don't get me wrong, they of course let us try some samples of the coffee, and not gonna lie, it kind of slapped.
It's kind of good.
But you know, maybe drinking a product from strangers in a sketchy house should have called for more caution, because they could have been a cult for all I knew, and I probably just drank the ashes of one of their leaders so they could be reincarnated inside of me. I don't know. 10 years later, I'm still doing all right. In the middle of the presentation, they even had to preemptively defend themselves and said, "This is not a pyramid scheme." I mean, for them to have to include that in their presentation definitely meant people have accused them of being so in the past. Red flag missed. God, so stupid. After the presentation, I went up to one of them to have a bit of a chat, because when he introduced himself, he mentioned that he was previously an architect. Oh snap. Hey, I'm in architecture school. What's up? I asked him about his experience with being an architect, where he studied, and what made him decide to leave that career path and choose this instead. I was given a pretty dismissive answer, as if he was trying to dodge the topic and only wanted to talk about the coffee and my interest in it. Oh, okay. Maybe one of the buildings he designed fell and doesn't want to talk about it.
Oh, that's what you thought?
Were you even an architect, you scheming son of a bitch? Okay, so here's how the scam works. You first have to buy the coffee inventory from your recruiter. They give us a choice between 3 levels of packages. The bronze, the silver, and the gold. Each with varying amounts of the coffee and its different types. The bronze only gave you like 2 boxes, and this was meant for recruitments who aren't as willing to dive into the scheme, but are down to dip their feet. Low commitment, low risk. In the mind of a scammer, if they can't get someone to full commit, they could at least milk a few drops out of them.
Get a
the
little bit of
silver
money.
gives you a bit more, and of course gold gives you the most, with a larger variety of flavors and decreased price per unit. They got me. That's a bargain. I'll take 10. We are then tasked with selling the product, of course, but we could also find our own recruitments who could sell the coffee for us. Huh? Now you're seeing a pattern here. But here's the thing, they didn't exactly tell us how much to sell the coffee for. We had to determine that ourselves. Alright, I guess that kind of makes sense. Selling low would be easier to sell for lower profit, and selling high might be more risky, but you earn more. Set your own stakes. I see. So I did a bit of math when I got home to try and determine my price, and eventually settled on one I could manage. I first started with selling to a few friends and immediate family, trying it out with people I personally knew, and then slowly approached people in my architecture program because we'd all be at studio late at night. I could save them a walk to the coffee shop.
That's good.
This went on for a while, and eventually, after a bit of earnings, I was able to rent out a small unit downtown and open up my own coffee shop. It did really well, and I even got to recruit a nice bundle of people people who first started off as frequent customers.
That
Within
is
months,
good.
I was finally rewarded with the fabled BMW that they promised us in the presentation. And
You
with
were?
that car, I took a trip to a nearby park where a beautiful woman approached me and complimented how big my wallet was.
feel like
and
this
so I
is all
courted
a
her,
lie.
and now we live lavishly on
This
our
is-
own
yeah,
island
this is
guarded
all-
by
this is
narwhals.
not.
No, I didn't sell jack shit. My mother and
He had me. I was like, okay, wow. He opened a coffee shop, and I was like, oh wow. And I'm like thinking like, okay, oh maybe he turned that shop into his gaming shop, right? But then I was like, is that how that story went? Because now that I'm thinking about it, like he sat with his friends and they were like, oh, we're bored, so he opened a coffee shop. But I'm like, maybe this is a way to fund that, right? And then when he said he got the car, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, really? And then when he said the beautiful woman approached him, I was like, okay, I don't think this is true. I was like happy for their success for a while, but apparently it wasn't even true.
park where a beautiful woman approached me and complimented how big my wallet was, and so I courted her, and now we live lavishly on our own island guarded by narwhals.
I love the
No,
narwhals.
I didn't sell jack shit. My mother and two of my friends bought a pack, and then I realized I had zero marketing skills because I was awkward when approaching people, and so I was stuck with an actual pyramid scheme of boxes of coffee that I couldn't sell, and the only consolation I had was that I at least liked drinking it because it did low-key slap, and now the only people who actually benefited from this were my recruit.
Right.
That's how the scheme works.
He got
The presentation by the schemers really knew how to boost your ego and hyperbolize your potential to make it big.
That's what
But
they
really,
do.
they couldn't care less if you sold the coffee or not.
Right.
We weren't really buying inventory from them. We were just buying.
Their
we
inventory.
were the customers, made to seem like investors were the people we invested in, had nothing to lose. And you can only imagine how many more layers of recruitments it goes up before them, with this scenario repeating itself over and over.
Right.
Again, that's me, right there.
Yep, on the bottom.
The bottom. With
At the
today's
bottom.
pandemic still heavily affecting many parts of the world and putting people out of jobs, you might be looking
Yeah.
for alternative ways to make some money.
There
and
are
it's
a
times
lot
like
of other
these
ways.
that can
Do
make
not
people
go to
really
them.
vulnerable and susceptible to these organizations. And
guy
while
with
the
the
one
car.
that finds you may not be selling coffee, hopefully you could sense the red flags and make better decisions.
Yeah, back it
unlike
up.
me.
Back
These
it up.
pyramid schemes are still
dear.
around because they do still work to some extent, but it's heavily advertised that anyone can find personal success in them.
Right, that's
Which
how they get
is
you.
false. But hey, Narwhal Island Guard sounded pretty cool though, didn't it?
It did. I love narwhal, so it did sound it did sound good. I would say like I agree with him. Do not, no matter how cool it might seem, or no matter how much they tell you, oh, you can, you can make a lot of money. You too can get a car. You can get a boat. You can get a brand new house. And they do prey on younger people, or like old biddies is what I call them. So old biddies are like your older women that, they have somewhat of a social life. So they don't just sit at home all day, but they have social clubs where they, maybe take up a class, or they go to their senior center and they hang out with other seniors, they are active in their senior community type of thing. They are a good target for these pyramid schemes, as well as kids in college. Those are the best. Kids in college or fresh out of college are that circle A and circle B, right? Because obviously out of college or in college, they are a lot of times of legal age to work, right? The other thing is that they are in need of funds when you're at when it comes to the college kids circle. The old biddies, they're probably not as in need, possibly. Everybody's different, but on average, there are statistically more college kids in need of funds versus old biddies. So you have your kids that are in college that they get their book fees. Their financial aid doesn't cover all of their stuff, so they have to get a student loan. They are tapped for cash. They have no money. They may have a meal plan that they can pay, or their family helps them pay. And a lot of them, it's difficult to get a job because you have a full-time work schedule. And I remember when I was in college, they used to say, hey, you want to study 3 to 4 hours more than the class that you took, I believe was the average that they gave you. So if you've got a full set of classes and then you've got to study 3 to 4 hours times past that, right? And you have a full schedule and you also have homework, because the studying is not the same thing as homework, okay? So you got the classes, you got the homework, you got the studying. You may not have time to pick up a job. Some may, but you may not have time to pick up a job. And then your money, your pockets are decreasing extremely. Your time is decreasing extremely. But you need funds. You need to eat. You need to buy things like daily things. And then there's things you want to buy, right? So they are a perfect thing. So around my college age, there was Avon, which is a pyramid scheme. And the thing though, they definitely do this whole, they don't completely explain everything, right? And so the trouble with Avon, because I knew about Avon most of my life because my grandmother used to buy Avon. She had an Avon lady. A lot of people I knew had an Avon lady that they bought stuff. I remember most of the deodorants I used growing up were from Avon. I did not know that as the Avon lady, what you do, and I'll make a video talking about the schemes that I've been a part of, but I'll just talk about Avon right now. The issue that I ran into was because I thought I was like, Avon should be easy. You give them the book, they say what they want to buy, they give you the money, you make the orders, okay, and then you get the products, and then you call it a day. However, what it is that you place the orders, right? When they pay you the money, you keep some of that money, right? And you order at a lower price. But the lady would say, hey, if they didn't give you the money yet, you pay for the item. Then when you get it, try to collect the money. That was the other thing. No, sorry. That's how it was. I said it wrong. You make the orders, right? You pay the money out of your pocket, right? Then when they pay you the money for the items you bought, because you buy it at a lower price, but the price that you tell the customer is $9.99, you paid for it for like $6.99, right? Out of your own money. Then when you bring them the products, you collect the money. No, don't do that, okay? Don't do that. I'm not Walmart, all right? I don't buy bulks of items on the hopes that people will sell them or people will buy them. We're not Walmart. And I was like in my early 20s when that happened to me. And then the thing is, if you can't pay it, they put that ish in collections. So that was a lesson I learned when I was younger. And the lady tried to get me again. Oh gosh, kids, and I say kids and old biddies, watch out. Okay, there are people within the between those two ages that people try to get. So everybody watch out. But kids in college, they are really after y'all, and then old biddies, they after you too. So everybody be careful. Try to get a different job. There are part-time jobs you can get at call centers at home. There are a lot of those now. Because of COVID. My sister's job, they sent all their people work from home right now. So since that's the thing, it's easier to hire people because you don't have to facilitate a building and pay the bills. Well, you might still be paying bills at the building if you don't want to lose a building. I mean, but your utility bills are down because ain't nobody using water or electricity. So you save there. But yes, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Have any pyramid scheme people approached you? I've been approached by a lot. I've sat through that's one thing for another day, but let me know if you've been approached or have you been to a meeting. What happened? Let me know down below in the comment section. Excuse me. If you like that video, check out the link in the description box below to support Domics. If you like this video, hug the life out of that like button. I love you guys as always, and until next time, buddies. Toodles.